Hello and welcome to section 3.4, which is covering parallel and perpendicular lines. Theorem 3.8 states that if two lines are parallel to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. Theorem 3.9 says in a plane, if two lines are perpendicular to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. And the perpendicular transversal theorem states that in a plane, if a line is perpendicular to one of two parallel lines, then it's also perpendicular to the other one. For example, here I have a drawing. And so let's just do this one. Theorem 3.10 says in a plane, if a line is perpendicular to one of two parallel lines. So in other words, this line right here, which is line B, is perpendicular. If it's perpendicular to line C, then it is also perpendicular to D, because these two are parallel. It's perpendicular to both, and you can see that in the drawing. In a plane, if two lines are perpendicular to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. So this A is perpendicular to D, and B is perpendicular to D. Therefore, A and B, right here, are parallel to each other. That's what that's saying. The first one said if two lines are parallel to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. So right here. These two. If I had C, it's parallel to D, then D is also parallel. C and D would be parallel. Going through a proof here, if I tell you that the given information is that C is perpendicular to B, so right here, C is perpendicular to B, and B is perpendicular to D, right here, and also that D is perpendicular to A, and I want you to prove that A is parallel to B. What out of these three rules can we use to do that? And I did it in a paragraph proof just because it's a pretty simple one, it's just one step. Line A and B are both perpendicular to line D. Therefore, A is parallel to B because two lines perpendicular to the same line are parallel. So there you go. That's pretty straightforward. It's just a continuation of what we've been talking about the last 2 days. It's just more theorems to prove what we've been doing with parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So bring this information with you, and we will talk about it more the next time I see you. Have a good night. Good night.